Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, what can I do to spice up my marriage?
This is a question that can be looked at from so many different angles. And I love that it got asked because I think so often we just think, okay, what can I do like right in this one narrow little, like, what can I do to, wear something different in the bedroom? Or what can I do to, change a position? Okay. And those are two areas that we definitely need to talk about because you want to spice up your marriage. Let me just start with positions. Right. It is so easy for married couples. I think the statistic is somewhere around 2 to 4 positions. The average married couple has like 2 to 4 positions that they just kind of like bounce around.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So not a lot of variety there. I mean, let's face it. On one hand, it's good to know what works. But on the other hand, your sex life can get really routine.
If that's all you're doing. Because if you're two, you're just back and forth. Yeah.
Back and forth. So considering new positions is huge. And one way to do that is to check out the Position of the Month Club that we have here at One Extraordinary Marriage. And the reason for that is that we give you a new position. As part of the club, we give you a new position every month.
Yeah, and for as little as $2 a month, you can become a partner of Position of the Month Club. Check it out at positionofthemonthclub.com.
So that's looking at positions, right? Because you can get into, just all kinds of new ways to explore each other's bodies. But the next step is, what are you covering those bodies with? Sometimes we go to bed or we're walking around the house in our holy t-shirts and maybe the really baggy sweatpants, or maybe it's the holy underwear that has definitely seen better days. And so you need to be thinking about like your body is a gift to your spouse, right? So if you think about some of the best gifts that you've ever received, what do they have on the outside? They have
Wrapping paper,
pretty bows,
yep.
The sparkly tissue paper and the gift bag, like they're dressed up, right? So if you're going to give the gift of yourself to your spouse and you want to spice things up, think about your wrapping paper.
And this can be from skimpy to luxury. And I'm going to say luxury in the sense of it could be a awesome top to bottom silk, dress, or guys, you could even have an awesome silk, pajama set, or it could be tight, boxer shorts, briefs for you guys. For you ladies, it could be, a thong underwear. So this can run the gamut when you think about spicing it up because each of us have different tastes. And that can be one of those factors of, for somebody skimpy, spices it up. For somebody else, somebody has that little luxury, that silk, that sort of
the satiny feel, just the soft, luxurious.
Yeah, that feel just is spicy and sexy to them.
So we're talking about positions. We're talking about what you're wearing. One of the easiest and literally zero cost ways to spice things up in your marriage is to consider having sex at a different time of day. There's no rule that says, you can't find it anywhere.
It's almost like stealing away. Like when you're, first married or first dating and you just wanted to steal away and get a kiss or a hug and same thing. Now, instead of just plopping into bed at the end of the day and just like, okay, let's have sex, you're stealing away. Right. You're going to go jump in the shower. You're going to find ways to spice it up without the kids knowing.
Right.
That becomes a real thing as your kids get older. Like, believe me, we got teenagers. That's a real thing. We're like, yeah, we're going to just go chill out for a little bit right now.
We're going to take a, quote, nap.
Yeah.
Right. With our sound and sleep machine on.
We're going to go just take a shower. It's the middle of the day. See ya.
Right. So you spice it up by doing things at different times a day. You spice things up. You want to spice things up? Let your spouse know how you initiate sex.
Big.
It sounds really silly to say that, but there are a lot of you that the reason your sex life or your marriage is not so spicy right now is because your spouse doesn't know what you're attempting to do. And there's no harm in saying, hey, when I do this, like I know one couple in the one family, they have a pillow that is a traffic light. right? And so on days when one of them's initiating, the green light is up, right? You walk into your bedroom and you see the green light and you know you're getting some. Hey, that's a little spicy. And on days when, because of schedules or whatever, it's not going to happen, the red light is up.
And if you need to learn some ways how to initiate, if you're stumped and you're like, I need some ideas, check out this free resource we have. It's called Discover the Top 10 Ways to Initiate Sex with Your Spouse Tonight. And you can get it at oneextraordinarymarriage.com/initiate.
2 more ways to share with you. One is send those sexy text messages.
Romance your spouse throughout the day. That's an amazing way to spice things up.
Here's the one little caveat to that. Be careful of what you send, because other people may see your phone or may pick up your phone. We've had this experience with our teenagers. And so it curbed what we send. It doesn't mean that we've stopped sending. It just means we're a lot more creative in the word choice and the the innuendo.
Something that we use in the past, we don't use it now, but there's that couples app. And that's a way, password protected behind that for you and your spouse to do some things, spicy things, sexy things, romantic things. So that way it's not just open for anybody to see.
And the final way to spice things up is that the two of you might want to consider doing a sex challenge, right?
Boom.
All that has happened here, everything that is One Extraordinary Marriage came out of the fact that Tony and I did our 60 Days of Sex Challenge 10 years ago. Right. And according to one person on Facebook who actually put up this comment and said, you want to spice up your marriage? Listen to episode 1 of the One Extraordinary Marriage Show. Episode 1 of the One Extraordinary Marriage Show is entitled
The 60-Day Sex Challenge.
So while I understand that for some of you, you're like, wow, Lisa, that's really long. I've got a solution for you, right? Because here at Daily Steps, we're all about the solutions and getting you to walk out. And that solution is to do the 7 Days of Sex Challenge. Because I know that you can do anything for 7 days if it really matters to you, right? You can commit to making your spouse a priority for 7 days and watching what happens when you say, you know what, this is what we're going to do. This, like you and I, we're going to be on the same page with this for 7 days. And we have so many stories about how the 7 Days of Sex Challenge has spiced up a marriage, has changed the dynamic between a husband and wife. And it's something that is just a giving of yourself, each of you giving to the other. It's a game changer.
Yeah. And if you're ready to start your own 7 Days of Sex Challenge, check out 7daysofsexchallenge.com.